we'll start with quarterbacks and we'll start with higher. There's two guys that you're a little higher on, and those are Joe Burrow. You like him at quarterback 8 coming off that bye week, even though he's playing San Fran. The experts like him at 10. And Derek Carr at the Colts. You like him at 16. The experts actually are all the way down at 20 on Derek Carr.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give a couple QB1 and QB2 options here, depending on your league settings. But yeah, I think Burrow comes right out of this bye. As I talked about with T. Higgins earlier, I think they all just get healthy. They now had 2 weeks to really rest. He was Burrow looking more mobile in the pocket, even though they had a great game against Seattle. He had a huge 374-yard, 3-touchdown day the other time out there. And I just think San Fran, they look tougher on paper. They're bottom 8 matchup for quarterbacks, but they face nobody. Kenny Pickett, Matt Stafford without Kupp, who's never been higher than the quarterback 14 all year. Daniel Jones, Josh Dobbs, Dak Prescott, who has one game as a top 12 quarterback. All the others are outside the top 17. PJ Walker. And then you get the one actual quarterback that's playing decent this year, Kirk Cousins. He goes for 378 and 2 touchdowns. So I think this is a bit of a fraudulent pass defense, at least. They are a strong defense, a great team overall, but they are starting to show signs of crumbling a little bit, and certainly in the secondary, not looking great. So I think Burrow and them come out firing out of this bye here with T back to health, and just they abandon the run and pepper it away. So another 300-yard multi-touchdown day for Burrow. I like it. He's a quarterback 1 I'm starting without hesitation. Meanwhile, Derek Carr, if you're desperate for a fill-in right now or you got 2 quarterbacks, I really do like him. 4 spots above the ECR, quarterback 16 right now for me. So he's quarterback 20 in the rankings, but he's been the quarterback 15, 10, and 9 across his last 3 games. He's got 300 and back-to-back yards. Indy's allowing the 9th most schedule-adjusted points to quarterbacks right now, and they play at a very fast pace, allowing other offenses to get more points themselves, more plays themselves. He's got 105 pass attempts the last 2 weeks, Derek Carr does. So we know volume's there. We know the yardage has been there. He is so overdue for positive touchdown regression. I think we have it this week, and we get a nice 300-yard multi-touchdown, top 15 fringe day out of Derek Carr.
105 passing attempts, or whatever, but completions. Was that it in the
105 pass attempts? Yeah.
105 pass attempts, but about 85 of those were probably to Alvin Kamara. Anyway,
yeah.
Lower. Did you see Chris Olave got in trouble too, by the way?
I did, yes.
And you said to the cop, I'm Chris Olave, I play for the Saints. The cop was like, and
yeah, your point.
tried to use it. Anyway, lower. Trevor Lawrence going at Pittsburgh and Dak Prescott playing the Chargers are the guys that you are a little lower on. You're actually a lot lower on Prescott, who is listed as the quarterback 20 by you. Experts like him all the way up at 12.
Yeah, I do have Trevor Lawrence as a fringe QB1, QB11 in the rankings, but that is 2 below the ECR right now. He still hasn't had a 20-point day, just 1 game above 300 yards on the season. He hasn't had more than 2 touchdowns. This is not the Trevor Lawrence year 2 Doug Peterson experience we all were hoping for. Pittsburgh is a bottom half matchup for quarterbacks in the past 2 games. Lamar to 10, Stafford to 14 points. So they have really been stifling it up. The rookies added to that secondary have made a big difference, and they're much more of a run funnel defense, more generous to backs. So I think a big ETN day is coming, and maybe we get a couple touchdowns for Lawrence, but still, I don't like him at that quarterback 9 or so ranking that the ECR has him at. And yeah, Dak Prescott ranked as a top 12 quarterback. Sure, was the quarterback 1 his last time out at 25 points, but that was against the Chargers. Everybody blitzes and bombs the Chargers on offense. They are giving up the most points to quarterbacks. He did what he was supposed to do, so you can't fault him for that. But after that game, quarterback 17 is his next highest finish. They've been run heavy. They've been slow paced. They're among the lowest in pass rate over expectation. It's the opposite of what we had been used to under Kellen Moore. So despite some good weaponry, despite a good game heading into the bye, I hate Mike McCarthy. I hate this overall offense. I'm not a huge Dak guy anyways. I do not want to start him this week in fantasy.
Hail Marys. Jimmy G at Detroit, 12% owned, and Sam Darnold might be getting the nod. We think he probably will be 3% owned. Well, you said about Jimmy G, if you're in a two QB league or if you're desperate. So,
yeah, exactly. He's been serviceable. You know what he's going to do. He's going to dink and dunk his way down the field. He's been great with Jacoby Myers. Obviously has Devontae Adams at his disposal too. This is a good weapons cabinet for Jimmy G. 8th most points allowed to quarterbacks by Detroit. And this is also more of a bet on the game flow here. I think Detroit, after that embarrassing game against the Ravens, comes out at home. We know Goff is way better at home. No David Montgomery. I think they're going to go balls to the wall, bombing, firing the ball down the field and putting up a ton of points, which will leave Jimmy G with tons of garbage time to clean up, mop up duty stats there. So I like him. He's been top 12 2 and half of his full starts. He's got decent weaponry, like we were saying. Really, actually solid weaponry. But yeah, I like Jimmy G. So if you're desperate for quarterback, I think he's a great 12% or fewer rostered guy. But Sam Darnold, you got to toss him out there, especially in those really, really super flex, crazy leagues. It's just more so buying into the Shanahan offense. I think these weapons, Kyle Shanahan himself, Darnold, he had some decent days with the Panthers in his last stint. Obviously, nobody that you want to rely on, but I saw him in the preseason. He's mobile. I think he could actually have himself a top 20 or so day in Kyle Shanahan's offense. The Bengals, especially if Burrow is going to do what I think he is and light the scoreboard up, they're going to need points too. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Darnold, similar to what Jimmy G did there, just gets the ball out and lets the weapons do the work there for him. So you're really desperate. Again, all the teams are off of bye this week, so you probably don't have to go that far. But if you need to, I do think you can trust Sam Darnold this week.
No.
Yeah, just scoff at me.
I am. We got a new. I'm assuming he's new to the show. We got someone named Cam Daddy. He said, "Are y'all answering questions?" We are. We're gonna finish the news and some of the Wolves predictions, and then we generally will answer any question football related or otherwise that's in the feed.
Yeah, we'll get to them all. If you're antsy, you got to get somewhere. We do take super chats. We cut the line for super chats. Not necessary. Of course, we will definitely get to questions eventually. We'll spend about the last hour of the show answering everything we get. So yeah, get all your questions on in. But if you do need to get somewhere and you want to make sure you get your answer in, we do take super chats and let you cut the line there for sure.
We're actually moving pretty quick. I'll bet we don't have too much more than like 20-25 minutes to go.
No, we'll be there for your questions soon. Free way to help you boys out is that thumbs up button, guys. Please do consider hitting if you enjoy what you hear and you like the content. It really does mean the world and gets us out to more people as we continue to climb to 4K and hopefully 5K in the near future. We'd love to have you be a part of the pack. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.